But my personality is very much, I don't sit and think about the way that I feel. I just go about my life, and I get her done. That's my personality. But I also recognize now that it's also been a coping mechanism, that just bury these feelings and suck it up and get going. And I used to say things like, I'd hear people crying about this or that, and I'd be like, I don't have the luxury of sitting around crying about how I feel. Like, I got to get it done. In my first marriage, I couldn't go to my husband about my feelings or about things going on with the kids. So guess who's going to have to put her big girl pants on? Me. I'm not going to be able to talk about the way that I feel. I'm going to have to take responsibility for everything in my household, just about. And that's how I lived. And that's after coming out of a lot of trauma. And then, I come out of that marriage, like I said, and there was a lot of brokenness, and it was just hard. So here I am out of town these last few days, and something happens to me, and I totally break down. And I messaged a friend of mine who has a lot of wisdom, and she prayed over me. And when she was praying over me, she said, Monica, and this was just so profound to me. She said, there are jars in heaven right now waiting to be filled up with your tears. The Lord has had them. He's been waiting for you to fill them. Because she knows me. She knows I suck it up and I don't think about the way that I feel. I just get things done. And I was like, wow. And that really impacted me. And I felt so much better after she prayed for me. And then I messaged my other friend who I knew would pray for me. And I just listened to it this morning. And this is what gave me the idea to get on here and chat with you. I'd kind of taken a break from making videos because I needed a break. But I thought a few things that these women said to me, maybe you needed to hear too. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. And my girlfriend today, when I read her message, or I listened to it, she left me a voice memo. She said, Monica, you just exposed and talked about a very, very deep trauma that was mental, emotion, physical, sexual, and spiritual. What happened to you when you lived with that pastor and he did what he did to you for years and told you to take it to your grave, and you almost did. It's been 38 years and you've just unearthed that, in addition to exposing even what your mom put you through because of her decisions. And even though you love her and you've forgiven her and you've healed, that's a lot. It'd be a lot for anybody. And she said, hey, it's okay not to be okay. And I was just like, yeah, like, and it seems kind of silly maybe to you to hear that, but for me, I was just like, right, it's okay for me not to be okay. And she was just sharing with me the grief that she walked through. And